Hello viewers and fellow Magic the Gathering enthusiasts. Welcome to my channel, VitalBuzzSolution. This is VBS. And today we're going to be playing a Lifelink deck. And I will show you the deck actually that I've built. It's a cheap deck. I've limited myself where the most expensive card to cast only cost me about 3 mana, I believe, because I wanted to keep everything nice and cheap. So when we've got plenty of land on the battlefield ready to summon and cast some creatures. So as you can see, we'll go through the list now and then we'll do some more talking when the game is loading. So I've got 3 Healer's Hawk with Flying Lifelink. Leonin Vanguard, I've got 3 of them. 3 of the Soul Menders. 3 Knight of the Ebon Legion, they all cost just 1 mana. 2 Fountain of Renewal, so at the beginning of the upkeep I gain 1 life. The 2 mana costing cards, I have 1 Ajani's Pridemate of this particular art design, and 3 of this particular design, so therefore Ajani Primates altogether. 2 Dawn of Hope, 3 Impassioned Orators, 2 Triumph of Gerard, 1 Gideon Blackblade, 2 Slaughter the Strong, 2 Blood Operatives, 3 Bloodthirsty Aerialists, and then onto the instants, 2 Murders, 3 Sorceries of the Toll of Invasion, which enables me to discard a card from my opponent's hand. 2 Unholy Indentures, so I can take control of a creature. And 2 Chromatic Lanterns, which enable me to basically play land any colour that I wish to choose. And then 9 Plains and 9 Swamp. So let's get into the game and I'll hopefully be able to show you how this deck works. I'm sure for those of you who are experienced in the arts of Magic, you've probably seen different variations of this deck, probably better versions as well, which work more efficiently than mine. But hey ho, this is my channel and this is my game essentially, and this is my deck. So this is, I suppose in a way, it's my Magic experience. And I just want to show you guys a deck that I have built and created. Essentially, there's going to be 2 main cards which this deck is built around. Of course, there are multiple options which will help me enable to win the game. I'm not saying that this deck is unbeatable by any means. It will struggle against certain decks that my opponents have. 2 prime examples being a deck that's built around flyers and a red mono aggro deck. I do tend to struggle against that as well, despite the fact I have so many cheap cards to play. But when you have an opponent that likes casting a lot of spells which deal damage and card removals, it's a little bit difficult to actually build this combo up that I'm going to be showing you. So anyway, as I was saying, the deck is predominantly built around 2 cards. And those 2 cards are the Bloodthirst Aerialist and the Ajanis. And what that essentially is, because this is a lifelink deck, every time I gain life, providing I have at least one of those creatures of that type onto my battlefield, he's just got rid of my Bloodthirst Aerialist, never mind. If I have an Ajani or a Bloodthirst Aerialist on the battlefield, it will add +1/+1 counters on them each time I gain life. And that is essentially what this deck is built around. and hopefully I will be able to give you a demonstration of how effectively that works. But I have other cards as well which help me to enable myself to gain life by triggering certain abilities. As you can see here, I've played Dawn of Hope, and what that will help me do, once when I've played a lot of my cards and I have an empty hand, because I've already stated a lot of the cards I have in this deck are cheap, and once when I've played a lot of those cards I'm going to have an empty hand, so I need to find a way to enable myself to draw more cards to accelerate my deck even more. So that's why the Dawn of Hopes are in this deck. So whenever I gain life, if I have spare mana at the end to cast, there we go, I haven't had the enough mana to trigger the ability, I can pay 2 mana and it enables me to draw a card. And you can kind of see where that builds up to. So again, if I have some cheap cards and some spare mana, I can chuck some more creatures or some more enchantments or spells onto the battlefield. Right, let's have a look at this. The creature with first strike deals combat damage before creatures without first strike. Can't be violated by creatures with flying or reach. I might want to hang on to that for the moment. I think what I will do, he's got a flying creature there. I think we'll tap the knight to give him Death Touch, and I think we're going to swing him with everything. And hopefully he will want to block with his flyer, which he has done. So yes, I've lost my knight. Oh no, I haven't actually. There's me, I can't count. Well, there we go. He lives, but it removes that possible threat of that flyer from the deck. So I suppose in some ways this Knight of the Ebon Legion is a useful card. As you can see, he's trying to remove certain cards from my deck, which is fine. That is the Slaughter of the Strong. That is useful if I want to get rid of any big creatures, which I don't want to at the moment. Let's see how many mana has he got. He's got 2 and 3 cards in his deck. This is where I could do with the what's the name? I've forgotten the name of the card. It's something of the invasion, where I can basically look at my opponent's deck and see if there's anything I can discard. But what we're going to do, we're going to tap the knight to give him Death Touch, and we're going to swing him for everything. And hopefully, because I'll be dealing more than 4 damage, there we go, I gain all that life. And because I've got 2 mana left over, if I pay that, I can draw a card. And there we go. I have Unholy Indenture, and because we dealt 4 damage to our opponent as well, my Knight of the Ebon Legion gains +1/+1. So then he is forced to destroy it, which is fine. I'm not worried. So here we have a Chromatic Lantern, which is probably the best bet to play that one as opposed to the other 2, because this card here is ideal for attaching to an opponent's creature. So when it dies, we gain control of it with a +1/+1 counter on it. And our opponent doesn't have any other creatures on the deck with a lot of life and, yeah, strength and toughness, we'll call it. So there's no point in playing that. Not the point, because he doesn't have any creatures on the battlefield at all. So I suppose what we could do we have enough mana to do it? No, we don't. But we have 2 mana spare left over. So we're going to swing in with our Hawks, gain 2 life, whittle our opponent's health down to 8, trigger Dawn of Hope, which we pay 2 life for, and we draw another card. Which, as you can see, it helps move things along very nicely. So now, what we can do this a few ways. Creatures they control, okay. I don't want to do that. But I think what we're going to do, we're going to attach this unholy indenture onto that God Eternal Knight. And then what we can do, we'll play the Impassioned Orator. So whenever we play another creature, we gain life. Do we want to attack? No, we don't want to attack. And we'll pass the turn over. So here, this would be handy if we had a Bloodthirst Aerialist, so that we can start pumping the counters on that card. So he'd be less inclined to use his God Eternal. Did I call it a knight? It's a Kefnet. Ah, here we go. Toll of the Invasion. This was the card I was talking about. So would it be worth actually playing Slaughter the Strong, or it may be worth actually holding on a turn and just having a look at our opponent's deck, which I don't think is a bad idea. Ah, he's got Liliana, Dreadhorde General, and Liliana the Necromancer. Oh. Target player loses 2 life. Whenever a creature you control dies, draw a card, create a 2/2 black zombie. Sacrifices 2 creatures. Oh, those are 2 nasty cards. Which one? It's going to have to be this one. It's whatever you decide is the lesser of the 2 evils. Should we pay? Yeah, we'll pay the 2 land so that we can draw another card, and look, it's enabled us to play another land, and look, lo and behold, play another creature, which we probably would have played on the next turn. So essentially, all that has enabled us to gain life and play another creature onto the battlefield. It's a win-win. You can see where the method was behind me building this deck from the beginning. I wanted to build a cheap Lifelink deck with lots of cheap cards, with lots of abilities which trigger combos and abilities, and enable me to give me options playing against different opponents. It's not going to be the best against every opponent, but now then. Each player chooses any number of creatures they control. Sacrifice all the creatures they control. That will be a card if I get into a sticky situation, I think. At the moment, I'm not too concerned, because all I'll be doing is pumping counters onto this Bloodthirst Aerialist. Oh look, I've got an unholy indenture. Is it worth attacking? No, not yet. We just need to continue building up this board presence, I think, at the moment. And we'll just see how we get on. Because at the moment the game's sort of playing balance a little bit either way.
Will resonate throughout the multiverse.
You want to do that? Yeah, that's fine.
Schemes have been
I can get rid of that card, that's fine. I'm not worried. We're going to have to deal with that creature very soon. So, what we could do to actually force the hand, we'll attach this unholy indenture, which has come at the right time actually, onto the Night Veil predator. Target creature. It has hexproof, so I can't. That's fine. That's fine. We'll capture that creature and then we can destroy one of the other creatures, maybe that one, so then it comes into my hand, so you can see how things are working in my favour. We'll tap that to create a 1/1 soldier with Lifelink and trigger the Bloodthirst Airless ability. So we are going to swing in 4 with you. And actually see what you do about that. You might actually let that go through. We'll see what he does. Because if I start throwing in any weaker creatures, it'll only deal 1 damage, which he'll get rid of. So that's got rid of the hexproof. But I've lost another Bloodthirst Airless, which is okay. I'm not too worried. However, I am starting to get a little bit concerned about these 2 Planeswalkers.
Right.
Well, I suppose it makes an interesting game because... Okay. What do I want to get rid of? You know, get rid of that. I'm not bothered.
Conceivable. You have no weakness that I cannot exploit.
Because I have Gideon. And we're going to play Gideon now, I think. Gain lots of life. He's indestructible. He is indestructible. So we'll pay 2. And we've got a Soul Mender, which we can actually play as well. How much life has... Do we want to pay again? Yeah, we want to draw another card. Aha, perfect. I can actually remove a creature. Yeah, it's a creature, not a Planeswalker. We'll tap him. We'll trigger the ability for indestructible. Put it onto the Impassioned Orator. Give him indestructible. And we might as well swing in for 1, haven't we? We'll choose attacker, yeah. Should we go with that one? Where are we going to go? We'll go for our opponent. We'll go straight for the jugular. And see what he does. Is he going to block with his token, which he will do.
They were a lousy servant anyway.
Okay. Gideon goes back to the side. This game's still evenly in the balance. Let's have a look at these 2 cards. Might as well see which one I want to destroy. Okay, what's he got here? He's going to deal 4 damage to me, which is fine because we've got plenty of life. We're not in any danger of dying anytime soon. So, destroy target creature. That might be the best way to go about it. I think so. So now he's trying to pump out tokens as quickly as possible. fine. I'm not worried. I can just keep generating tokens if I need to. It's fine. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. So return to his hand. His defense. You can see now that the stem of the tide slowed down a lot. It's starting to get a bit of a ball presence. So we've got 3 mana there. And 2 there, so we might actually have enough to do what we need to do this turn. So, let's think about this. We destroy that creature there, it enters the battlefield on our side with +1/+1 counter, and when it enters the battlefield we can destroy a creature. So we'll destroy him, and this will enable us to capture that creature as well and put him onto our side. Yeah, resolve. So now we can destroy another creature, so we'll destroy that one, which we placed an enchantment on. And then that will come over to our side of the battlefield. Resolve. So now we'll play the Toll of Invasion. And we'll have a look to see what he got in his hand. He's got a Sorin, Flying, Death Touch and Hexproof. I kind of want to get rid of that Sorin. Yeah, get rid of that Sorin. We don't want to see any more Planeswalkers on the battlefield. So there we have it. It's that board looks a lot better now. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Resolve. So he's got rid of Gideon. We're going to have to deal with our opponent pretty soon. Or at the very least, we need to get rid of those planeswalkers. Very fast as well. Otherwise we're going to be spiraling into a losing position. But anyway, this, if you aren't already aware, is my first Magic video that I've done for my channel. Because I just love Magic. Once that you draw a card, each player exiles a card from his hand or permanent, yeah, you know, just get rid of that. So this is my first Magic game that I've recorded on YouTube. I'm just putting this one out just to see how it goes, and if I get fairly good feedback from it, then I may consider doing a few more. Just happy building decks and just doing videos, recording them, and just seeing how they work out. And we'll just have a lot of fun through it, because at the end of the day, that's what this game's all about. It's having fun. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. It's being able to see the deck you've built work to the best of its abilities, and you have fun. If you can't have fun, what can you do? That's my saying anyway. So, pass over to our turn. What do we have here? Yeah, it's probably time to play Triumph of Gerard. We'll put it on the Healer's Hawk. We're probably going to need some tokens as well, otherwise he's just going to keep exiling creatures left, right and centre. Regain life. Probably next to the combat phase. Next. Does he have any flyers? Probably not. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to swing in with all our might and inflict 2 damage. 3 damage even. I can't count. Do we have the mana to do it? Yes, we do actually. Just enough. So that enables us to draw a card. Perfect. We can play Fountain of Renewal next turn, and we'll trigger Dawn of Hope, to place another token creature on the battlefield. And while our opponent is busy figuring out his next move, I'm just going to get a spoonful of cheesecake. Because yesterday, for your information, not as if you probably care anyway, but it was my wife's and myself's first wedding anniversary. And on our wedding day, destroy target creature or planeswalker. Really, you just got to stoop so low.
Your existence is pointless.
I don't need planeswalkers to help me win my battles. So yeah, it was our first wedding anniversary, and on our wedding day, we were bought lots of different flavours of cheesecakes. I think it was about 10 boxes altogether, and I ended up bringing 7 of them home with me. Opponent chooses a permanent they control on each permanent type and sacrifices the rest. Really? Really? You just got to do that?
I seem to have laid waste to your army. Oops.
Choose an artifact or enchantment, planeswalker, and land. Yeah, I want that. You're gonna make me very upset here. So they're gone. Sad times. So yes, I ended up bringing home 7 boxes of cheesecake, which needed eating up pretty sharply because I'm sure you're aware cheesecake doesn't eat very well. So I ended up gaining about 2 stone through that, which was fun, not. But I did enjoy the cheesecake. That was very delicious. So this year we drove to a place not far away from us. It's called the Cheesecake Shop. And we ordered ourselves a cheesecake, and it's kind of going to becoming a tradition for us. So we just keep each year on our anniversary buying cheesecake. So I'm sat here with a spoonful talking to you, just about ready to devour this cheesecake. You have flyers, don't you? Yeah. You've basically whittled my hand down to nothing, and I can see where this is going to go, despite the fact I've got all this health. And you're down to 5. There's absolutely no way I can possibly win this now. Okay, and we're back. Sorry about that. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a slight network glitch, technical issue problem, which was fine because that game was absolutely going nowhere after such a promising start. So we'll play one more game and see if we have any better luck this time round. For those of you who are actually interested in knowing what flavour cheesecake I am basically stuffing my face with at the moment, it is a double-decker. It has lots of chocolate sprinkles on. It's got white chocolate buttons. Well, I wouldn't say it's got lots of chocolate on. It's got like a cream mousse in the middle, which is rather nice and tasty. Because they do all sorts of flavours at this cheesecake shop. There's hundreds, absolutely hundreds. but I'm digressing a little bit here and I actually need to focus on what I'm doing. That, believe it or not, not a bad hand. We'll keep that. I'll tell you what, it's delicious. If you ever go to a cheesecake shop, order something. It is absolutely delicious. So, to get things rolling, and it's a cheap card to cast as well, we'll place our Fountain of Renewal down. In fact, our opponent's got a white black deck as well. I wonder, are you playing a vampire deck by any chance? Maybe, maybe not. Whenever you check on paper, you died. This is going to be an interesting game. So we'll get our Soul Mender down. So that'll enable us to get 2 life. Then the next turn we'll play the Impassioned Orator. So that'll enable us to get 3 counters on Ajani's Pride Mate. There we go. And you can see how this is working. Because Gideon is so cheap as well, it makes some of our creatures indestructible, so hopefully we'll be able to use Ajani and swing in for some rather expensive mana. This might actually work. We'll tap you, gain life, and wait to see what our opponent does. I hope this works. Please do not spoil my Varumble. Please do not. Because this could be a perfect opportunity for me to actually show you how this deck works. Here we go. First Ajani. First plus counter. Tap. Gain life. Add another counter. Oh, that's beautiful. No, we're not going to attack. We're going to pass the turn. So then, we need to have a think about, do we get Gideon in action next turn and then play another Ajani's Pride Mate? Or do we throw down the second Ajani's Pride Mate and then throw Gideon in? But I suppose if he has an ability to remove our first Ajani, we may need a backup plan, and I think that might not actually be a bad idea. So we'll play Gideon this turn. Giddy up, Gideon. That's another creature onto the battlefield. Thanks to the Impassioned Orator, we gain life. That's another counter onto Ajani. We'll tap the Soul Mender. Gain another +1/+1 counter for Ajani. We'll click on Giddy Up Gideon. We might as well make him indestructible. There we are. And we can actually swing in for 7, which will get rid of some of these vampire token creatures. Bosh, thank you. Good night. I'm not worried about that bloodthirsty airlist because I've got one of my own. Hopefully it will come out soon. Probably could do the plain Dawn Hope next. Oh! Ajani's come to the battlefield. Right then. What are you going to do? Okay. I could do with one of them actually in my deck. Gaining life, drawing. Oh! It's like you just read my mind. Thank you. Thank you very much. And you know what? You're going on the battlefield. What? Ah! No! You were tricking me then. You were thinking, you can have the Bloodthirst Heralist, but at a cost. Oh, look at that. You've only got 1 black mana. You didn't even bother to check, you idiot. But that's fine, because we'll play Dawn of Hope. Come on. Play Dawn of Hope. Thank you. We'll get a Johnny, the second one. A Johnny, the second. Trigger some more abilities, gain more life, more combos, more +1 counters. We'll tap our Soul Mender before we forget as well. Costs nothing. We'll get a Giddy Up a Gideon. Sticking with a +1 onto him. And we'll stick you as Mr. Indestructible.
Your light will cleave the darkness.
So can you actually block? 5, 6, 7, 8. Not actually swinging for you. Get rid of you. And hopefully that's going to force you to block. That's another vampire gone. And I am not worried about that Bloodthirst Aerialist because all I need to do is play another turn out. Ouch, that hurt. Or at least get a murder card, which will probably destroy that Bloodthirst Aerialist. But either way, I'm not worried. If I don't get an instant murder, I can always rely on Gideon. After the next turn I play, I can exile that Bloodthirst Aerialist, and I'm not worried. So soon. Shall we pay 2, draw a card? Probably be drawing 2 cards actually. We'll decline. We'll just see what we get first. What comes out. Nope. Just a Knight of the Iron Legion. That's fine. I can live with that for the moment. We'll just keep gaining life. Should we pay 2? Yeah, we'll pay 2 and draw a card. Tap the Soul Mender. Keep gaining life. Trigger this ability again. And just keep things ticking over for the moment until we are ready in a position to strike. Yes. You're indestructible. Probably actually attack with you. So we'll attack Vajani. Get him to force his hand. And he's going to have to block. And hopefully we'll start milling through his creatures. That gets rid of a token. Now we're in a position where I can actually get rid of that Bloodthirst Aerialist with Gideon. Next turn. Okay. Well, to say though, I wanted 2 good games on this video. I have duly delivered. Yes, the last game crashed towards the end, but I was pretty much drawing to a conclusion on that game that I wasn't going to win it. But saying that though, this game is pretty even as well.
Put your talents to better use.
Okay. What did you just do? Ah, my turn. Do I want to pay life? Not yet. Pay life. Pay mana. So I just want to wait and see what happens. Aha. Yes. This is what we're going to do. We're going to play Unholy Indenture. And one way or another, we are going to get a Bloodthirst Aerialist onto the battlefield. So we'll tap Gideon. -6. Get rid of that. Actually, did I actually think about that? That's actually exile.
One less fiend to fight.
I didn't think about that one, did I? I should have placed the enchantment on Ajani's Pridemate and then exiled Bloodthirst Aerialist. That was my incompetence there, we'll call it, but that was the decisive blow for our opponent. But so yeah, essentially that is my cheap Lifelink deck that I've built. I may do another video later on, just depending how well this one has been received, showing you a few more games or how that deck works. Alternatively as well, I'm going to have a look and see if I can build another deck. I've got a few ideas what I want to do, what decks I want to build, and share with you guys. So hopefully you'll stick around and keep an eye out for my Magic the Gathering Arena videos on my channel, VitalBuzzSolution. If you do want to follow me, you can subscribe. If you did enjoy watching this video as well, you can also leave a big thumbs up. That would be very much appreciated, and thank you very much for watching. And all I've got to say left, that really did make sense, didn't it? All I have left to say to you guys is thank you very much for watching, and keep buzzing!